Yo, what's going on, guys? So, yesterday I made like a short video talking about all these things that we just got with the information for Scream 7, the whole Montreal, Canada thing, filming for Scream 7 again, the working title being Blackbird, and the filming starting early 2024 and wrapping in April 2024. I talked about all that in a short yesterday, and I want to talk about some because I want to talk further on something that I briefly mentioned in that short. I want to talk about the snow setting again for Scream 7, that possibility, because I feel like with Scream 7, because like I said, I've theorized this before that they can have a snow setting for Scream 7 on my channel. I've made a theory video saying like, oh, could there possibly be a snow setting for Scream 7? And there's been a lot of just theories about a snow setting because, this information that, they're filming early 2024, wrapping filming April 2024. And, I've seen some fans theorize this. I've theorized it myself. Like, what if they end filming? Like, well, they'll end filming April 2024. But what if they, spend those next months, editing and, doing whatever and, doing the trailers and all that. And then they release Scream 7 in December 2024. So then we could possibly end up getting a snow setting for Scream 7. And I talked about that already, but I feel like that is possible. And some fans have even said that, oh, they might go back to New York again because Scream 7 is apparently, it says here, from Tristan on Twitter, that Scream 7 is going to film again in Montreal, Canada. So, some fans have theorized like, oh, does this mean that Scream 7 is going to be taking place in New York again and we're going to have the snow setting there? I don't know, maybe. But I also want to briefly mention this too because I've seen, some fans post this on social media, and I've even seen I think Killjoy Jake, he talked about it. And it was basically about a Scream 6 draft, original draft, for Bailey's reveal. And, when he's giving his whole monologue, and it was supposed to be the original script for Scream 6. And pretty much Bailey, he originally said in the original script for Scream 6 that he was gonna, after he killed Sam and Tara, he was gonna go on a plane to Seattle, and where Sydney was supposed to be living, and Bailey was gonna kill Sydney's kids in front of her, and basically target Sydney after he killed Sam and Tara. That's what Bailey said in the original Scream 6 script. And, I've seen a lot of fans talk about it. Some YouTubers talk about it. And I think that's interesting. And obviously, they had to, most likely they took it out because, Nev wasn't in the movie. But in terms of that, because I've seen some fans say that, oh, does this mean that Scream 7 is going to take place in Seattle? Because I've seen some fans theorize that. Maybe Scream 7 does take place in Seattle. And, maybe we are going to get that for Scream 7. A Scream 7 Seattle film. And maybe that's where Sydney's living. And they end up going there. And that's where our new characters are going to be as well. Who knows? But, I just seen those theories going around. But, like, I feel like we could get a snow setting in Seattle, possibly, and they could release the movie December 2024, like I said, and the rest is from it goes on from there. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of possibilities for Scream 7, and some of this information is already kind of not, it's not old because it's not like years ago, but it was already from like, some of it is a couple days old and some of it is like a week old. So I'm barely catching up on some of this, but I'm sure some of you have already heard about some of these things I've already said in this video. But yeah, like, I feel like there's quite a bit of possibilities for Scream 7. I mean, and in terms of the setting, who knows, maybe they'll have Scream 7 take place in freaking like, I don't know, Florida. Although I don't know, you can't do a snow setting there because it's always hot. But yeah, like, freaking, I don't know, Michigan. I don't know. There's just, or maybe outside of the U.S. they might have Scream 7 take place, like another country or some other location for Scream 7. Like, there's a lot of possibilities. Like, there's a lot of settings that they can choose, and a lot of things that they can do here. But in terms of just like for Scream 7, like, I feel like you know because I've heard just some fans say that what they want for Scream 7 is they want a snow setting, and they want it taking place in Seattle because that's what Sydney was apparently living in the original Scream 6 draft script, I mean, and according to Bailey. But yeah, so that's what some fans want. And in terms of like, I'm just gonna kind of go all over the place here, but for Scream 7, the opening scene, if we are in Seattle, who's gonna be the opening kill? Because I know some fans have said, oh, like, what if they kill Mark Kincaid in the opening scene, and that's how they reel Sydney into this if she does come back. And who knows, maybe that could be possible, maybe Gail. But how shocking would it be though if they freaking killed, like, because I've I think I've put this theory out there before, like, maybe they killed Tara in the opening scene, or like Tara dying is possible. Like, I made a video about that. But like, imagine, and I know this is gonna sound a little bit out there, but like, imagine if they killed Sam in the opening scene of Scream 7. Just imagine, like, that would be wild. Like, like I would not, I wouldn't even know how to process that, because like, she's been our main character. And so it would feel kind of strange to kill Sam in the opening scene of Scream 7. I'm not saying they are gonna do it. I'm just saying, imagine if they did. Like, that would be just, like, that would blow my mind. Like, I wouldn't expect that at all. Cause like, yeah, I Sam being the opening kill is not even on my roster. Like, I don't even think that's gonna happen. But I'm just saying, like, if that did happen, if Sam got killed in the opening scene of Scream 7, I would just be like, yo, like, that would just be wild. And if they execute it right, I might be okay with it. But I think I would rather, in my opinion, if they were to kill someone in the opening scene, like a returning character, I would probably either want it to be Tara or Mindy, or even Danny, or just a brand new character, who knows. But because those are like my options there. But yeah, I don't think Sam, I don't think she'll actually be the opening kill for Scream 7. But like I said, that would just be just very out there. Like, they would be like reaching for something really shocking, just to for for us who are watching, the movie, and that would just be shocking to a lot of us. So yeah, I just there's but yeah, because I think Killjoy Jake has said that he once wanted the core four to die in the opening scene of Scream 7. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't really mind that. But like it could go either way. Either Tara dies in the opening scene, Mindy, um, Danny, and like there's or a brand new character. And I know some fans are gonna be like, oh, what about Gail? Could Gail die in the opening scene of Scream 7? She could, but I wouldn't want her to die in the opening scene only because I feel like they kept her alive in Scream 6 and they said she was in the hospital and we never got to see her after that. So for them to just kill her off in the opening scene, it would just feel like that was kind of for nothing. I mean, like I said, if they execute it right, sure, but I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't really see the point, overall. But yeah, I mean, it is possible though, but I just don't really see the point of killing Gail in the opening scene of Scream 7. So yeah, but in terms of everything else though, do I think, like I've said this before, but at this point, in terms of Sydney coming back, like I said, if Scream 7 takes place in Seattle and they say that, oh, this is where Sydney is living, and that's how they bring Sydney into this, because Ghostface is in her city now. And what's it called? So if Nev decides to come back, which is still a possibility, then that's what they could do. But will she come back? I mean, like I said, it is possible, but it just depends on the studios and how they decide to negotiate this money situation with her again. But yeah, I guess we'll see on that. But in terms of everything else though, I feel like there's just a lot of things that they can do for Scream 7. They can go all out there. They can kill some characters. They can have, because the thing is with the opening scene, I feel like they have to have something big and shocking. And whether if you're expecting it or not, it has to be something new. Because, I felt like Scream 5 and 6, whether if you were expecting the twist or not for Scream 5 and 6, the opening scenes, whether if you were expecting those twists or not, like with Tara surviving Scream 5's opening scene and Jason revealing himself early on, like whether if you expected those things or not, you gotta admit, either way, those were still new things that they tried. That I still think, it was still new things that they tried either way. And they can further that by trying even more new, just outlandish, wild things for Scream 7. Like, they gotta go big. So I don't know what they could possibly do for a Scream 7 opening scene at this point to even top Scream 6's opening scene, which was just wild. Jason revealing himself early on and he gets killed by another Ghostface. Like, that was crazy. But how can they top that for Scream 7? Like, what can they possibly do at this point? I don't know. I mean, like I said, Scream 5's and Scream 6 opening scenes, they had a twist to them. They weren't just regular opening scenes where, oh, the character dies and that's it. Like, no, they had a twist to them. Scream 5 had Tara survive. Scream 6 had Jason being the Ghostface killer that reveals himself early on, and then he gets killed by another Ghostface. They both had twists to their opening scenes. So what are they gonna do for Scream 7's opening scene? They gotta try something new again, or else it's just like if they have just a random new character that gets killed off and that's it. Like, I don't know. It would just feel kind of strange, because they've tried new things with their opening scenes so far. So I don't know why they would go back to a traditional opening scene for Scream, which I know some fans would want, but it's just I felt like they got to do something like just wild, and and I know some fans are they have their things about like, oh, they're probably gonna go back to Hollywood and they're gonna have some type of Scream 3, you know similarity moments with their opening scene. Because that's just what some fans have said. Like in terms of the Hollywood setting, like I do think that's possible, and I don't really want it. But I don't know. I feel like they're not gonna do that only because they did that for Scream 5. They went to Woodsboro, and while Scream 6, took place on the college campus, they weren't really on the college campus at all for Scream 6. Scream 2 was. So, if anything, I feel like if Scream 7 has something movie related in that film, it won't be like Hollywood or anything. But they might have something to do with movies. I don't know. But it might just be like in the background, like how it was, like how the college setting for Scream 6 was, because they were barely on the college campus in Scream 6. It barely had anything to do with, that film, So it might be the same thing for Scream 7. Like they might be in a whole new place. It's not Hollywood. It might be a whole new setting, whole new place. And they might have something to do with movies, but it's not. It's just gonna be in the background. It's not gonna be like the focus of the movie, and like I feel like that's probably what's gonna happen, if anything. But in terms of them going to Hollywood for Scream 7, like how Scream 3 did, I don't think they're gonna do that, and I could be wrong, but because some fans are saying that, but I don't think so, but. I guess we'll see. But in terms of just like Scream 7, I feel like there's just a lot of things that they can go for, and like I don't really know if they're gonna pull the whole secret relative or secret killer that was behind everything. Like if they're gonna try to say like Christina Carpenter was behind all this in Scream 7, and she was behind everything, and she orchestrated all this that had happened between all these movies in the new trilogy, at least. And like if they have some kind of reveal like that, or if they're gonna try to say, oh, Sam has a secret relative and coming back for revenge or something, or it's Leslie Mocker coming back to avenge her son's death, Vince. Like I really don't know what they're gonna do, like if they're, because they've, like I said, for Scream 5 and 6 they have had similar reveals, similar motives, and similar characters. So I can see why some fans are being a little like not with, like they're not really thinking that they're gonna try like some kind of crazy twist, because as much as Scream 6 is more different compared to Scream 5, because I feel like Scream 5 didn't completely, it wasn't just a straight rip off of Scream 1, but there was a lot more similarities with Scream 5 and Scream 1 compared to Scream 6 and Scream 2. Because, at least Scream 6, it tried different things. While Scream 5, I felt like it was a little bit more leaning towards just like, copying Scream 1. So, but I felt like, the thing is with Scream 5 and 6 is that I feel like they're both swapped. They have different motives, but the killers are like similar to the originals, if that makes sense. Scream 5, they had the boyfriend killer, and but the motive was about Stab and not anything to do with like, oh, Richie's mom left him because of Sam or something, like how it was in the original with Billy. But with Scream 6, it had the same motive as Scream 2, while Scream 5 had a different motive to Scream 1. But Scream 5 was more like on the side where it was like more copying Scream 1, while Scream 6 was the opposite. It was like more different than Scream 6 was more different than Scream 2. But the motive for Scream 6 was similar to Scream 2. So it's just kind of like, you know, it's kind of like flip-flopped, you know? But I think, you know, they have to, I don't know what they can do, honestly, but I feel like, you know, they're probably going to have to try something new because, you know, and just really bring something fresh to the table, different character, different motive and reveal, you know, just something interesting. And while I don't really, like, I don't completely mind that Scream 5 and 6 are similar to the original trilogy, but, and while I do think Scream 7 mirroring and copying Scream 3 to an extent is possible, I feel like they could still try something new, you know? They could still try something new and different for Scream 7. Will they do it? I don't know. I mean, but I guess we'll see. You know, if they have some kind of similarities to Scream 3, I don't mind, but I wanted, you know, I feel like they should have a different motive and different character reveals and all that kind of stuff. You know, just different setups. You know, don't do it exactly the same way as Scream 3. But like I said, will they do that? I don't know. But I guess we'll have to see. And it just depends on execution. But let me know what you guys think about all this that I talked about in my video. Like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!